What's up, guys? My name is Georgios, and we're just gonna review what has happened so far in the NFL free agency in the first 3 days or so. And we're gonna start with the AFC North. I'm only gonna talk about the big moves that have happened, or at least what I might still miss some moves because they might happen right now, or I might have just missed it because that's what happened. But we're gonna start with the Steelers, and obviously the big move was signing Russell Wilson for 1 year, $1.2 million, because the Broncos are paying the remaining $38 million from the contract that they had before, which was probably the worst. At the time, it sounded like a bad idea to sign him for as much as they did, and now it looks even worse. I feel like Russell Wilson played decent in the second half of the season, but all the memes, he got memed out of Denver with the whole Broncos country, let's ride thing. So I do want to see, though, seeing how he played decently in the second half of the season, I do want to see how he's going to do with yet another legendary coach. Because so far he had Pete Carroll, who is a legendary coach, Hackett, who the less we talk about him, the better. Sean Payton, who is kind of a legendary coach, right? With the Saints, probably mostly was Drew Brees, but still, he was still the coach. And now with Mike Tomlin. So, on the Steelers side, their main issue was the quarterback spot. And this has a pretty good chance to address that quarterback issue. Definitely gonna be better than Pickett or Rudolph. So let's see how the Steelers are gonna do this season. They also signed the most of their defense. They signed Patrick Queen, 3-year, $41 million linebacker, and they also got Donta Jackson and the 6th-round pick from the Panthers and they traded away Deontay Johnson and the 7th-round pick, which I am a little bit confused about why they traded away Deontay Johnson, but either he probably wanted to leave or they just didn't see him as fitting the plans of the team. But I don't know. I feel like the offense is good. Now they have a good quarterback. The defense was great last season, and they bolstered that. So it's going to be interesting with the Steelers this season. Next, we have the Ravens. I feel like almost every single team in the AFC North, by the way, has done at least one big move that has added to their team, besides the Bengals. But let's talk about the Ravens. They signed Malik Harrison, linebacker, right? Probably not a big deal. They traded away Morgan Moses and a 4th-round pick to the Jets, their offensive tackle, for a 4th round and a 6th-round pick. And obviously, the big move was signing Derrick Henry, 2 years, $16 million deal. I don't know if Derrick Henry is exactly what they needed to get over the whole Chiefs hump, but if there's any player that will give them a chance, as long as he stays healthy, it will be Derrick Henry, because he is going to run rampant on most teams, as long as he stays healthy. And with the coaching staff there as well, and with a dual threat, because you have Lamar Jackson, and then you're going to have Derrick Henry lining as a running back, who are the defense is going to account for? Because it could be Lamar Jackson running it, or it could be Lamar Jackson throwing it, or it could be Derrick Henry running the ball. So I feel like he gives them an option that Gus Edwards wasn't giving them before. So that's going to be an interesting move to see as well, how that's going to pan out. Then we have the Bengals. The Bengals just re-signed a couple of players, but their main move was replacing Joe Mixon, who they traded to the Texans for a 7th-round pick. A 7th-round pick? That's what I was saying on the previous video. The running back market makes zero sense, because I don't understand what is going on anymore. Certain running backs that shouldn't be getting paid too high, they're getting paid too high. And other running backs that have 2-3 great seasons in a row, they got paid nothing. So Tony Pollard should not be getting paid as much on a yearly basis as Derrick Henry and DeAndre Swift. I'm sorry. And that has nothing to do with me being biased against the Cowboys. I don't really care too much about the Cowboys. But it's funny because the fan base is just, crazy. But Joe Mixon to the Texans for a 7th-round pick. The Texans got much better, and they basically got him for a bag of peanuts. And they signed Zach Moss in his place, which makes no sense. And then the Browns. The Browns, they traded for Jerry Jeudy, sending a 5th and a 6th-round pick to the Broncos, which is also trading for a player and just giving away peanuts. Because Jerry Jeudy is a good wide receiver. And he only cost them a 5th and a 6th-round pick. On top of that, they re-signed Zadarius Smith, defensive end. They signed Jordan Hicks, linebacker, a 2-year deal, both of them. And more importantly, they signed Jameis Winston as their backup quarterback for 1 year, $8.7 million. I don't think Winston deserves to be a backup. He should be a starter, right? He doesn't make a lot of mistakes, but I feel like he's got better. He's got it better ever since he left the Buccaneers. But I also don't think that Deshaun Watson is going to stay healthy. So I'm glad to see Jameis Winston go over there, even if I want to see him as a starter. Only because I feel like with how Deshaun Watson is, Jameis Winston is going to end up becoming the starter. And the Browns are going to be a problem when Winston is on the field. I don't know how they're going to do with Watson, because Watson, again, is always a question mark, injury-wise and leadership-wise. So if he gets injured, at least this time they actually have a good backup quarterback, like a pretty good backup quarterback in Jameis Winston. So who could actually be a starter. So it's going to be interesting to see. And the AFC North is going to be crazy. I was hoping that with Joe Burrow back, the Bengals are going to be good, but they made absolutely zero moves to actually get any better. So let's see how the season goes.